Hello Aquarius and welcome to my channel, Aquarius. My name is Aaron and I will be doing your June 2019 reading. So with that being said, I will explain the spread that you see before you. In the middle you have the monthly outline and on the right side you have the advice for spirit for each week. On the left side, those were just cards that popped out. Or fell out after I was done. And on the upper right hand corner you have the overall messages that you are supposed to take away from this reading. Now with that being said, I will say that I am a empath and a clairvoyant as well, so a lot of the messages that I receive are just They're a lot. So I am still learning on how to hone my abilities, and I have a pretty secure idea of where I stand with Spirit, and Spirit has not really, not really shied away from, helping me out. But with that being said, in order to book a reading with me, I will leave the information down in the description box. I do have a website, but it's having a bit of technical difficulties at the moment. Just a few, website publishing problems that I'm currently communicating with the company about. But in order to contact me, I will leave the information to contact me in the description box. Because of this inconvenience, again, I do apologize, but because of this inconvenience, I will have all of my readings at 50% off. If you wish to know more about my readings, or if you wish to book a reading with me, the way to contact me is in the description box. Now, let's get to your reading. So, when I first recorded this reading, there was a lot of information, and hearing it really just put in perspective how Spirit was trying to communicate with me and how I was interpreting it. Like, we're on the same page, but it's kind of like there's a lot of things that there's a lot Spirit wants to get out all at once, because there are a lot of messages, and it was just a lot. So I'm working on refining that, so please bear with me. So in the first week of June, you see the Seven of Cups, the Seven of Cups, the Empress, the Justice, the World, and the Ten of Cups, and your advice is the Road. So what I got from this when I first did your reading was that this is how the week was supposed to be. I didn't quite understand that, and I kept asking Spirit, and Spirit was like, well, this was the plan. Like, this was the plan for this week, but some things came up, and unfortunately, this is going to have to be held off for at least a little while, and because there's something that you need to, before you move forward, there's something that needs to be brought to your attention, is what I got. And it really does have to do with something about your journey or your path. So, with that being said, for the reading, it's just very much, you were supposed to have this happy ending, or for some of you, there may have been this happy ending at the end of this week, because I'm recording this on the 5th. So, I'm very sorry. I'm very late. I do apologize. For me, the Seven of Cups says that, you had many options, or I feel like there were many, I feel like there were many things that happened, like good and bad things. There were many things that were presented to you, and Spirit really wanted you to come from a place of femininity. Like, they really wanted you to come from a soft place, like a very gentle, caring, loving place. you know, like, for instance, taking the higher road in some cases, um, or really trying to put yourself in someone else's shoes to understand things, but also understand your situation. Sometimes we're so caught up in the situation or whatever we're going through that we miss the small details, and those small details carry lessons that are very important, to us. So, with that being said, oh, goodness, just jumping out. So, the Justice card, I mean, that's all I can. What I'm feeling from the Justice card is that there was a situation that you had the opportunity to behold, or the opportunity to watch, and like there was a deeper meaning behind it. Like, yeah, it's all good that things are being rectified, but there's a deeper meaning to the whole thing, and finding where you fit into that, I feel, is very important, because it does bring this ending to a cycle. Like, there's this bit of information that you come across in the first week, like this bit of information that you come that kind of like ends a cycle, or for Spirit, I feel like it's this one thing that you needed to move forward. Like, in order to move forward, it was important for you to understand like a single detail about yourself, probably. I wouldn't say a warning, but it's more of like a, hey, there's this thing that you're doing that kind of, it brings up the same situation, and, moving forward, the blessings and the blessings in your life moving forward, you really need to kind of nip this thing in the bud. So I wanted to present this to you, so that you would at least acknowledge it. Like, it's almost as if Spirit's planting the seed, for your growth in an area you may not. I'm feeling like it's an area that you may not. It's like, I have things to do. I don't have time for that. Maybe I'll do yoga like on Wednesday, and then Wednesday comes, and then you're just slammed with work, and then like you missed out on yoga, but you keep rescheduling it. Like, there's something that Spirit's like, all right, I understand that your life is busy. I understand that you live in the physical realm, so there are a lot of things that you need that need your attention, but the larger purpose for you needs your attention right now. Like, your purpose here needs your attention, if not for 5 minutes, please. And it really does, I feel like it really does tie into the Ten of Cups, because it's kind of like that journey, because what I'm getting is, I feel like the road is reaching in the middle of the week. Like, I feel like the energy of the road card is kind of like reaching over the Ten of Cups and the World to the Justice. So there was like this thing that was supposed to transpire, and Spirit is just kind of sitting on the sidelines like, oh, please pay attention to this. Like, because you're ready, in a sense. Like, I feel like you're ready to move forward, but Spirit's like, oh, there's just one one small tiny little thing that I need you to pay attention to, or to be cognizant of, or to keep in the back of your mind. And in order to do that, I'm presenting you with the situation so that maybe it would stick a bit. Now, on the far left-hand corner on the top, what was funny was that I didn't quite notice this, and I didn't quite notice this until I was done shuffling, but you pretty much have cards that equal the same amount of weeks that you have, and I felt like each card was for every week, like each card pairing was for every week. That's what I felt. So with that being said, like, it wasn't for every sign, it was just for your sign, just your sign. So with that being said, on the far left hand side in the upper left hand corner, you see that for this week, or for the first week of June, you have the the Letter reversed and the Queen of Cups. Now, I do read reversals because I feel like you need the good and the bad. Like, getting good news constantly, you never learn from it, you never prosper from good news constantly. Like, if you went through life and you never had hard times, like, what lessons did you actually learn? Like, if you never had a heartache, if you never had trouble at work, if you never, like, if you went through your entire life with just good news, like, what would you really gain from having this human experience that we're in? Like, what did you really gain? So I feel like we do need the good and the bad to, for our spirits to grow and to become better. So with that being said, you know, I feel like there are some facts that you're not seeing. You really are not seeing the forest for the trees, or there are some things that you're overlooking. As I said before, for this first week, for some of you, I felt like this is how the week was supposed to go. For others of you, I felt Spirit really had me feel like, well, I mean, it was kind of there, but there was something about this. There was something about this event that transpired that you missed. Like, you really missed. And instead of being the King of Cups, you became the Queen. And when I was really meditating on the Queen of Cups, I felt like you put your cup, like, you created a wall. You created a wall yourself, and you put your cup of power on the other side of that wall willingly. And I don't know if it was subconscious or consciously, but there was something that was important that you just kind of brushed off your shoulder, like, oh no, you know what, I'll, you know, pay attention to, I'll get to that later. Or there was a certain factor that was just overlooked. I'm getting the Hermit card. Spirit, the way I communicate with Spirit, they either give me feelings, or they give me images, or they give me scenarios that I just kind of I feel through. Like, I really emotionally, like, physically, like, they put me through it. But it's the best way that I can communicate what the messages that Spirit has for you. So I feel like with the Queen of Cups, you really just kind of, it's almost as if someone knocked you down a peg, and then you went the extra mile for that other person, and you put your cup of power away from you. Like, you really cut yourself off from this power. And I feel like it's because of this one thing that you overlooked, or this factor that you really weren't seeing. Or, you know, if you would have just, like, given this one thing the attention that it needed, or the attention that it deserved, that there were a lot of facts that would have been presented to you that would have been very helpful for your journey forward. With that being said, we'll move on to the next week. So you have the Two of Swords, the Three of... you have the Two of Swords, the Three of Wands reversed, the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Cups, the Magician, and your advice card is the Key. So when I was first recording this, what I got from the second week was that you, as I said before, there was someone who really knocked you down a peg. Like, you really, like, whoo, like, there was something or someone, or there was an event that really just kind of, like, hurt you a bit, but it was just, it didn't hurt you enough to give up your time and energy completely for it. But it hurt you, like, oh, okay, that's not okay, but you know what, we don't really have time for that. Which is pretty, like, amazing, I think, because for me, Aquariuses have always been go with the flow. They've always done what they needed to do. And from my experience, Aquariuses have that good balance of personal and business, like party and work. But sometimes the partying can be a little bit more, given a little bit more attention to than it deserves, but I digress. So for the second week, I really got that you did give something or someone your power. And that Spirit was just kind of putting you in a position where a decision needed to be made, where you needed to make a conscious decision. That's how I feel. I feel like it's a conscious decision that really needed to be made. And you not making this decision really hurts you more than it hurts anyone else. Like, it really hurts you in your journey. It's kind of like Spirit's like, all right, let's get this done and over with so that we can move on to the next steps. So that the wheel of fortune can turn in your favor and you can move up that staircase and take those next steps. Because, like, I feel... What I'm feeling is, like, I feel like there's some of you who won't do this, and there's some of you who will. There are some of you who will take this advice, and there's some of you who will just blow it off. But for those who take it, I feel more like the Wheel of Fortune turns in your favor, and you're able to take that next step onto your journey. It isn't a very long journey, I would say. I mean, to success. Like, not to, well, I guess, to success. But, like, the journey in your life, just overall, like, you turn a good corner, and you're going down this path, and, like, the moment you take the advice and you start to really get into that hermit mode and ask yourself the important questions, or really work on yourself, like, take a vacation. Take, like, a 3-day vacation, ask for it early, plan it 3 months ahead, like, really, give yourself time and really give yourself the energy and work on yourself. That's what I feel like in the second week of June. Just really give yourself that time to, even if it's for 5 minutes or 15 minutes or even half an hour, just really give yourself that time to meditate and reflect. And really at least put things into perspective so that you can come to them later and do go to them later. Like, just not put them in perspective and then just leave them there. Like, really just at least, it's kind of like a bird building its nest. You take a twig and the bird flies off, it finds material, it goes back to its nest, and it starts building its nest little by little. Like, in your spare time, at least do this gradually, Spirit's main goal is to get you to at least start it, or get you to at least begin with whatever it is you're looking for, or whatever it is you're trying to do. Like, it's almost as if it's a hobby. I love doing this thing. I love doing this thing. It fills my heart with joy. I love doing this thing. But I don't have time for it. Why don't I have time for it? Busy. Oh, my goodness. Like, I feel Spirit's frustration. Like, I feel Spirit's frustration, but I also feel you. And it's just like this miscommunication. From my point of view, it's like this miscommunication between you and Spirit. Like, Spirit's like putting this, and you're like, I know, Spirit, I know, I'm getting there. And by Spirit, I mean, like, I use the term Spirit as like a general, like, for general purposes. I do mean like angels, spirit guides, guardian angels, and things of that nature. Like, Spirit's really trying, you're being like, okay, I understand, Spirit, I understand, or there's something presented to you, like, oh, this most likely needs my attention, but right now I just don't have the time. Like, make time. Spirit trying to say, even if it's small amount of time each day, make time for it. Even if it's small, Spirit just wants to plant that seed and really get you going. That's how I feel. And when you do this, the Wheel of Fortune turns in your favor, and you come from, like, it's like a bounce back. That's what I hear, bounce back. Like, you come from queen to king, and I don't feel like you have your old cup anymore. Like, when you put your cup on the other end of the wall, you left it there, but you gained a new cup that was right for you. Not right for you, but better. But you need both. So you Need both. What do you mean you need both? The balance, masculine and feminine. You need the balance. You need the balance of both. King of Cups is very much in charge of his feelings, in charge of his emotions, very discerning with his emotions. So I would say that coming from a place of imbalance, that Spirit wants you to balance yourself, just for the foreseeable future. They say that it takes 30 days to make a habit and 30 days to break a habit. So I feel like Spirit's trying to get you into a habit of something, because later down the line in your path, it's going to be useful at some point. Like, at least you have a space to work with, for something to come. Like, you have a space to work with for something to come. And it's something that you, like, it's kind of like Spirit, with the Magician card, Spirit's like, there's something you ask for. There's something you ask Spirit for, and Spirit's really trying to give it to you, but they're trying to prepare you for it, so that you can receive it in the way that it's supposed to be received, in the way that you... For me, I feel like before we were born here, we agreed to something. Like, we agreed to certain stipulations before we were born here, and, we sat down with Source, the universe, God, Buddha, Shiva, whoever you pray to, Nefertiti, whoever, they're like Spirit, like the Source. Like, you sat down with the Source and you were like, this is what I want to learn, this is how I want my spirit to grow, these are the lessons that I wish to obtain in order to grow spiritually, because your spirit is eternal, your body is temporary. So you ask for this temporary vessel, and you ask for these things so that you could experience and take with you, and there was something that you asked for that was really Spirit-based. You don't, like, I feel like you asked for it and you're like, where did that come from? Because, like, I feel, from my standpoint, from what I understand, we were born and our slate was wiped clean, but we have guides, we have people we've interacted with in a past life, who love us, who care for us, who really want to see us do better. We have our guardian angels watching over us. Like, they're really just, it's like a toddler, and you want to experience your toddler walk for the first time. Like, you really want to, like, you set them up on their feet, and you kind of hold their hands and walk them forward, and then you kind of let go and, watch it happen. If they fall, you pick them back up, you console them, but you get them back on their feet, and you go, because they have to learn to walk. So I feel like it's kind of like that. You ask for something, and Spirit's trying to get you to walk. Like, they're really trying to get you to walk. And in order to begin this journey, they really want you, there's something that they're presenting to you that's going to be detrimental to your path in the far future, that they really want you to pay attention to, because it's a small detail. I feel like it's a small detail, but it's a small detail that matters, with that, the key as your advice, really to know that you have all the tools presented to you. You have all the tools with you. It's something that's already there. That's what I'm getting, that it's something that's already there. You already have it, or it's already transpiring, or it's in your backyard. In your backyard, what do you mean? Opportunities are in your backyard. You overlook something. There are opportunities in your backyard. Huh. Opportunities in your backyard. What's that? Well, we're going to go to the far left on the cards that popped out. And the cards for this week, it seems you have the Page of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. Like, yeah, really, definitely. The moment that you learn this thing, like, Spirit's trying to give you this insight. It's really trying to give you this, and it's... For your side, it's new. For Spirit's side, it's always been there. And it's kind of like Spirit's trying to reveal something that's old. Because something that's old can be improved, but the lesson from that thing that's old is important. It's almost like if you touch the stove and you burn yourself, you know that it's hot, so you never touch it again. It's almost like there's an old lesson that you learned a while ago that Spirit wants to bring to your attention, because there are other lessons that pertain to it, or that are connected to it, that really are important to your journey forward. That'll really have you in your power and just really set you up for success. Basically, Spirit's trying to set you up for success. But they can't do that if you're constantly brushing it off, like putting it on the back burner, really, at least, as I said before in the beginning, like, it's like a bird building its nest. It flies away, it takes a twig, or it takes a feather, or it takes something, and it brings it back to its nest to build its nest. Like, you get up, you go to work, you come home, and on the way home, you probably, I'm feeling like I'm stopping off somewhere. Like I'm taking the time that it's something that I love and I'm excited about, but Spirit wants to get you into the habit of it. Like, they want to get you into the habit. It's kind of like saving money. Like, Spirit wants to get you into that. That's like, okay, I'm going to just take out $10 and put it in this account, and I'm going to forget about it. I'm just going to forget about it. And they want you to do it, like, it's 30 days to make a habit and 30 days to break a habit. Like, they really want to get you started, so that this becomes second nature, so that you're not really stopping later down along your journey. You're not really stopping to really think about this. You've already thought about it. You've already really taken the precautions. Because I'm asking Spirit, what do you mean? And it's really telling me that it's going to be something down along the line that you're grateful you did. Like, you're grateful you did it at the time that you did it. With that being said, we're going to move on into the third week. So the third week, you have the Ace of Swords, the Hermit, the Nine of Wands, the Four of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the Child. Now, with this week, I feel like, with this new clarity that you get, or with this thing, for those who take the advice, you start working on this thing, and it starts to bring clarity to you, or peace of mind. I feel like it's peace of mind. Like, there's something you're concerning yourself about, but by you paying attention to this thing, or making these steps, or making these moves, you're really, subconsciously, like, it's bringing you peace of mind. You're noticing yourself it could be meditation. Like, you're noticing yourself, like, it could be like honing your skills, or there's so, because I'm getting a lot, like, I'm getting pulled in many different directions, but I don't feel like it's for, like, one person. I feel like it's many people. Like, many people, there are many different things for many different people, but it's all the same? What do you mean it's all the same? What do you mean? All the same, all the same, all the same. Like, it's all the same, but each person has, it's like, some of you are on the same path, some of you are on different paths, but you need the same thing. It's like a collective lesson. Like, collectively, a group of Aquariuses need to do this. But you gain more clarity, and with this clarity, you really start to explore other areas of yourself, and you really see either how far you've come or how broken you are. This is another message that I received in the third week in the last, when I first recorded this, was that, for some of you, you really look back, or you really look at the things that you did, and you're very proud. You're like, I did that. I'm a strong and a badass, oh, well, I'm sorry. You're really like, I'm a badass. Like, I can do this. I got this. I've come so far. I'm very proud of myself. For others of you, you're like, wow, there's a lot of work to be done. Rome wasn't built in a day, so really try not to get too upset about it. Try really, there's no need. I feel like, I'm concerned. I'm concerned about slipping into this. Like, from Spirit's standpoint, they're concerned about you slipping into this depression or this funk, and they really don't want you to, because they see, like, it's not necessary. Like, Rome wasn't built in a day, and like, they want you to know that what's in front of you or what's ahead of you is definitely worth what you're going to be doing now. Like, what you're going to be doing now is definitely just absolutely going to be so much worth it. I feel like it's going to be a helping hand. Like, I'm getting like you know, on like TV shows, how they do an episode about time travel, and the person or the main character or what have you does something to leave something for themselves in the future. When they're traveling to the past, they leave something in the past for themselves in the future. It's kind of like that. Like, you're doing something that's going to be very helpful for you in the future. You're either going to be helpful to someone, or I feel like it's more so about your journey. A message that I'm getting right now is that some of you need to know your journey. Some of you need that information about your journey, your soul purpose. Like, you need to find your soul purpose, or you need to understand your soul purpose, or your soul purpose is like, before they present you with your soul purpose, they really want to set you up for success, and that way, you know, it's not overwhelming or doesn't discourage you. Because there's enough of that. Like, there's enough of that. No. Don't be swayed by your emotions. That's what I'm getting. Don't be swayed by your emotions. But really, in this clarity, you really, you know, ask yourself the deep questions. You really start to, or it's brought to your attention that, you know, that you may need to look into some things a little bit more about yourself. And when you do this, you really are proud of yourself, or you really see that you have a far way to go, but Spirit wants you to know that they're there with you. They're there with you. Like, they're there with you. Meditate, or, you know, do something that you love. Really connect to the earth. Grounding is what I'm seeing. Grounding, forest, trees, camping. Rock climbing? Forest, trees, camping. Really ground yourself, I would say. You know, Yosemite. You, like, go to really be around nature, you know, or maybe an earth sign in your life. Someone with a lot of earth in your life, I feel like, will be very helpful in this. Earth signs are very caring and nurturing. They can provide a bit of tough love, but support is what I'm getting. Support. Like, you know, if it is a bit challenging for you, you know, finding an earth sign or having that earth, like, I feel like there's an earth sign who is there. Just having more confidence in your friends and in your choices of friends. You know, if you're making poor choices in friends, then maybe that's something Spirit's trying to present to you. You know, they say that we are who we surround ourselves by, so really just, maybe it's time to change it up. Maybe, maybe not. No, not maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, because for some of you, you don't need to. You really do have that strong support system, and for others, you really need it. You really need to wake up. Like, let's wake up. Come on, let's wake up. Let's get this done. Let's get this over with. Let's start making better decisions right now. Yeah. And when you see, like, as I said, for those who feel discouraged, like, Spirit really wants you to know, like, don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. Like, this is just for those of you who are feeling, you know, who look back on this insight and see how much work that's needed, or, you know, I wouldn't say how broken you are, but, you know, try not to concentrate on the negatives, but understand that the only way up from here, the only way from this point is up. Like, you have acknowledged where you're at. Now the only the only way now is up. Like, the only way up now is up. Like, you just, it's up. And with this, you know, with this realization, you're really waiting for Spirit to present you with something else. With the Four of Cups, I feel like no. Like, that's what I'm getting is no. Like, first, let's concentrate on walking first before we decide to jump to the next thing. Let's focus on walking before we run. Really enjoy yourself. With the Three of Cups, what I felt for the first time with the Three of Cups, because Spirit really has me refer to that, my first recording. There's some new things, but mostly it's from my other recording, my first one for you guys. Like, you will. There are certain avenues of information that will be presented to you by the end of the third week. Like, certain avenues of information or people who are, this is a really good time to bond with people who are responsible. Like, this is a good time to be with the people, someone who's already been there, done that, been there, done that, been there, done that. People who are experienced in certain ways that, you know, it would be a good time to spend around them, really get into insight, like, soak them up, and really just be in your power. Like, just know that you really take it as a learning experience, because it is a new journey. It is something that is very, like, that's what I'm getting, like a new journey. Like, because you notice this thing that Spirit's been trying to present to you, and you either feel in your power or you understand your position and you're ready to move forward, Spirit's really trying to, like, it's for some of you, I feel like it's for some of you, these people are already there, like, in your backyard. Like, the sources of information are already there. And all you need to do, it's kind of like, when I was doing your reading the first time, Spirit had me in a dark room, and I feel like this is relevant. Like, Spirit had me in a dark room, and I was getting frustrated because I couldn't find anything, but I couldn't find anything because it was dark. And I was like, why can't I find anything? This is so frustrating. And then I look over, and I see this switch, like this light switch, and I'm like, there's a light switch? And I turn it on, and, like, right next to the light switch is a door, and I'm like, there's a door? What? Like, it totally blew my mind that there was a door next to this light switch. So I feel like like, it's already there, but you're just really not seeing the forest for the trees, and you really have to pay attention to those small details, because I like, during when Spirit was giving me that message, like, I felt like I opened the door, and there was a hallway, and the hallway was filled with other doors, and those doors led to other experiences, other lessons, like, other avenues of prosperity. Like, I really was in a funk. Like, that was the best way to describe it, like, in a funk. And then I looked over, and I was like, what? The answers were there this whole time? And, like, it's in your backyard. You already have it. You just really need to pay attention to it, because you're overlooking it or you're brushing it off, and Spirit's like, but it's important. And, like, they're like, hell or high water. They're going to pay attention. Hell or high water. We can do this all day if you want to. Like, Spirit has eternity. We can do this all day. Spirit. Like, I have eternity, so we can do this all day. But they really want you to get started on this new journey. They really, really do, because they really want to fulfill the contract that you really came into this world with. They really want you to grow. Like, they really want you to succeed. They do. Alright, now, for the cards that popped out for this week, you do have the Lovers and the Hierophant. So, as I said before, your relationships are very important. Your relationships will help you on your higher path. Your relationships will help you bring light to certain situations. I'm feeling like for some of you, not exactly most of you, but some of you, a good chunk, that you really need to, by this realization, or by this, by this realization, I feel like it'll give you a glimpse of who your real friends are, or who, like, the false relationships and the real relationships. And, you don't have to cut them off right now, but Spirit's like, that would be a good idea. Like, if it's... it would be a good idea, but you don't have to do it right now. Just, because, I mean, now Spirit's making me feel... like, I feel like some of you don't take well to pressure. Like, at all. It's like you either fight back or you cave in. Like, you don't take well to pressure. And it's like you're, for some, like, rebellious. Like, the pressure's put on you and you're just like, no, I'm gonna do whatever I wanted to. Like, let's not do that. That's Taurus energy right there. like that stubbornness. Let's not do that. Let's not. But it is going to bring or shed light on your relationships. I feel like the last week is definitely going to shed light on your relationships. Going through a self journey can really shine light on a lot of things. And it's really up to you whether or not you... like, for me, tarot is more of like, this is where you are now, this is your projected... this is your projection of where you're going to be, and whether or not you make the right choices is really up to you. Like, humans, for Spirit, for humans, it's very different, because we're just such a wild card. We can know the right thing to do, we can know our life's path, we can have enlightenment, but we can do a complete 360, and that's kind of like, that, I feel... when I first communicated with Spirit, I really, I was like a kid in a candy store. I really wanted to know, a lot. And from what my understanding is that Spirit is so... it's like a good football game, but not in a negative sense. Like, it's a good... to see someone you care about so much just grow and blossom into something beautiful is its own reward. And that's... Spirit just wants your prosperity for you. Because you're a wonderful person, or you're a fantastic... I feel like grandma. Like, that love you have for your grandmother is the love you need for yourself. That caring, loving, that, that's so sweet. Maybe go see your grandmother. So yeah, I mean, the child is just representative of a new beginning, but the child, like, I also feel from the child card, that some of your relationships may be a little immature. I would definitely at least, as I said before, Spirit, for humans, we're just a wild card in general. Like, we can just change completely sometimes overnight, very rarely overnight, but we can just change. Like, we can make a drastic change, and Spirit's like, whoa, where did that come from, Or, Spirit will try to give us hints, or it will try to present us something, and we'll take it, and we'll completely go left with it. We'll completely go left. And that's why, that is a challenge for Spirit, is, how do I get a message through, or how do I get them from point A to point B without them completely going left with it, So they're really trying to do this in a proper way, that not only will you get it, but you'll commit to it, or at least, attempt to, or make the effort to, because they really want the best for you. Now, in the last week, you have the Two of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, the Strength card, and the Cross. Now, with this, what I got initially was that, you're put in this position that, you're taking the steps, you're going through the motions, like, you're really taking what Spirit is presenting to you seriously, and you're really making the steps towards it. And there's going to be a point, like, in it bleeds into the following month. Like, you're really going to I feel like only the Two of Wands energy bleeds into the next month. Like, the rest is just a general consensus. But you're really in this position where you're really looking at things a little different. When we're younger and we can't swim, so we see every body of water as like some death trap. But then we gain the knowledge to swim, and now we look at every body of water as a new adventure, or like this beautiful, just, it's so beautiful, and you want to take part in it, and you want to swim in it, you want to explore in it, you want to go snorkeling, you want to, this, that, and the other, go whale watching. Like, you're no longer afraid of it. I feel like there's this perspective, because you take these small steps, but they're small, but they're going to mean a lot in the future. But I feel like when you take these steps, like, it really puts you in a mindset of, like, what else can I do? Like, what else is capable? Like, what else am I capable of? Or what? Like, you're like, I'm getting again from Spirit, like, okay, let's walk before we run. Let's walk before we run. Like, really just, it's good to have those ideas. Like, Spirit's very happy that you're in that mindset, but, they want you to walk before you run. And with that, you have the Knight of Pentacles, which is slow and steady movement forward. And it's going to be hard work. Like, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard work. But it's work you put into yourself that really pays off the most. It's work you put into yourself. Like, let's say if you're up for a job and you really want to stand out, so you learn a new language so that you could, so that it's something that you have, like an asset that you have in the future. Like, you learn a new language and it becomes helpful in the future. That's kind of like where Spirit wants you to come from, or where Spirit's trying to get you to. Like, there's something in the future that right now I'm not saying like in the near future, because Spirit doesn't have me like in the near future. They have me in like, not the far future, but like 2-3 years from now. Like, it's going to be very, like, this right here is going to be so useful. Like, so useful. Or you're going to be happy that you actually tried. Like, you can actually put down on paper that you're in the beginning stages of doing this thing. Or, like, I feel like for some of you, I feel like it's a credential that you're really working on, like another language or another skill set or something. Because Spirit presented to you in the beginning of the month, and they're really trying to, it's almost like they're crossing their fingers, and they're like, please, 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 please. Like, they're really, like, they're really wanting you to really just pay attention to this thing. Like, I feel like that's the most important part, that you recognize it. That is the most important part, because the moment that you recognize it, like, a lot of things are going to open up. A lot of things are going to be brought to your attention, and it's like that fire lit under your ass, like that fire that's just like, yes, 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 this is amazing, I'm going to do this, things are going to be great, and things will be. Like, things definitely will be better. But it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be slow and steady work, but this is work for yourself. So, really, yeah, this is self-work. That's what I'm feeling, self-work. Really don't get yourself down and down. Like, don't put yourself in the funk again. The 9 of Swords, like, just, that is an unnecessary energy. And I feel like, for me, what I'm feeling is that the 9 of Swords and the Strength card is really playing off of the overall message that you're supposed to take away from this reading. Because for the overall, the cards that you have for the overall message were the cards at the bottom of the deck. So you have the 6 of Cups and the Tree. So there's like, having a good support system is very important. It's going to be very important. For some of you, I feel like that's the point. For some of you, I feel like noticing that you need a good support system and then actively taking steps so that you create this new support system for you, tailored to you, that plays on the best parts of you, the healthier parts of you, not like the negative things that, negative habits, bad habits, like Devil card. No bad habits. Like, anybody who encourages your bad habits are people you don't want around you. Friends, like good friends, family, like really nostalgic. Like, I feel like you're being put in a family. Like, I'm at a, like, Spirit has me at like a barbecue or like a get together, family. They have me somewhere, like like this family gathering, this announcement, this family gather. They have me with like really strong and encouraging loved ones, and that's going to be your pillow. That's going to be your pillow for like building that strong, because you can have a relationship where you walk into the room and they already see it on your face, you see it in your body language, and they don't have to say, like, you don't have to say anything to them. They're already, they're making you, they look at you walk in and they're like, oh, I'm going to make tea. And I'm going to make tea and I'm going to make dinner. Just go take a shower. Like, you really, like, a support system that's really there for you is going to be important. That's what I feel for like a lot of you, actually. For a lot of you, I feel like that's very important. And with the cross card for the advice for the week, it's really like it may seem burdensome, but really look towards the future. I feel like the page, like with the cards that popped out for this week, you have the Page of Wands and the Nine of Cups. So I really, Nine of Cups. Yeah, I mean, that could be it. I feel like like with the Five of Cups, like the Three of Cups aren't really what needs your attention right now. Like, you really need to take on the energy of the Page of Wands and understand that you still have two cups left, and those two cups, like, I feel like one of those cups, for some of you, one of those cups is filled with the Nine of Cup energy, like enjoyment, like you've worked hard, now you're enjoying the fruits of your labor, like, that this process or this journey forward is definitely going to be beneficial for you. And it's all, like, Spirit has me feel like, then why wouldn't you do it? If you know that it's beneficial for you, then why wouldn't you take advantage of that? Like, why wouldn't you go forward? And they want to get you in that mindset. Like, they really do. For you. They want better for you. So, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a cakewalk, just don't get down in that funk. Like, that's why they want you to have a strong support system, so that, sometimes you can have people around you, like loved ones, who see you in that funk and are very much like, you know what, I'm not going to try to force you out. I feel like that's where that rebellious thing comes from. Like, I'm not going to put pressure on you, but I'm going to be here for you when you're ready to move forward. But I'm also not, like, that's why I feel like having a good earth sign around you, or like having a good friend who's very stable, very grounded, around you to be there for you in those times is very important. Or a group of people, your tribe. But with that being said, like, this month is really all about growth, and it's really about utilizing the tools that you already have, or I feel like there's opportunities in your backyard and you're not even seeing it. Like, you're not even seeing it, but the tools and the opportunities are already there in front of you. It's so frustrating because it's there. Like, it's there. Anyway. Alright, Aquarius, that was your reading for June 2019. Again, I really do apologize for the inconvenience. I will definitely make an announcement when my webpage is finally fixed and up and running. But for now, I will leave the information down below on how to contact me if you wish for if you wish to book a reading with me. Again, my readings will be half off because of the inconvenience. I do career readings, decision readings, general readings, and extended readings. For right now, I am going to be expanding that a little. I am going to be expanding that, so you should see a lot more options. You should see a lot more options later on in the year, because right now I am developing my gifts. I am, working out the details with Spirit in our relationship. So the more secure that I am, and the more that the more secure that I am with this gift, the more I'll be able to provide for you guys. Alright, remember to like, share, and subscribe if you liked it. If you didn't, please leave a comment down in the description box. Any bit of information helps. I really don't take offense to negative offense to negative comments. I really see them as constructive opportunities. So I really do encourage that communication. Alright, well, I'll see you guys next month, or for your mid-June readings. Alright, love you. Bye.